Hello and welcome. My name is Nelly and we are about to start editing for the first time. Okay, technically we're not going to start today. Currently, what we're doing is reading the book. I did get it printed out. I don't know if I'm going to do this for every single book because it was expensive, but I got this printed out back in November because I was so excited. It was the first book I'd written. It was my first NaNoWriMo. It was just a great time. So I was like, I have to get this done, which is also why I'm not writing it. Like, let me tell you how many mistakes I've already found. I'm not actually writing in this because I want to keep this as like, this is the first one. But let me tell you, I'm finding mistakes. So I am like reading it right now, and on a separate piece of paper, I'm writing down the changes I can already find that I need to incorporate. And it's pretty much more incorporating stuff rather than taking anything out. I haven't had to take anything out yet. I'm like, add more, you need more in this. And then I'm also throwing in when I can throw in descriptions because I didn't throw in descriptions at all in my first run around because I hate descriptions, so I'm not looking forward to it. But I threw in when to do it here because you don't want to cluster it all at like once. But I also just to remind myself. Because, when I go in and actually start editing, I'll realize. But just a reminder, just in case I forget. But yeah, so today, technically I started this on Monday. It's Wednesday. I did the prologue in chapter 1. So today I'm going to continue on. I'm going to try to get a good chunk of it done. Finish it tomorrow so that on Friday I can start officially the first round of edits. I'm excited. But the reason I started this right now is one, because I technically have just started it. Like, this is an important part. On top of that, I'm doing this. On a separate piece of paper, I'm doing the threads I open up in different, like in chapters so I don't forget. So like one of them, I'm like, oh, let's not forget to continue incorporating this thing throughout the like book, which after I do this, I'm probably gonna go through it with the thread to make sure that they're incorporated, and if not, add those into the chapters as well. And then on a different piece of paper, I'm writing out the plot, and I'm just gonna like arrow it down to see where it goes. And then after this, I'm gonna go through, not now, but like eventually, I'm gonna go through and read the other books too and continue the arrows to see how the entire series plot goes, to make sure like that's remaining well enough. But yeah, that's what I've started. I'm doing this all on paper because I felt like writing it out. I feel like it's just working better for me right now. At the moment, I'm feeling the whole writing everything out. A couple months ago, I was feeling the whole typing everything out. So, I think both work for me quite well. But anyway, back to the reason I want to start this right now. I was just reading this and I was like, I'm a dumb... I literally wrote, she pulled her book out of her book. Literally, the amount of mistakes I'm gonna find in this, I cannot even can't handle it. But it's okay, that's not what we're doing. That's for another round of edits. Right now it's more on like, what does the story sound like? I literally can't. I'm literally reading this like, I cannot believe that's how I wrote that. It's not great. But first of all, I do think I've gotten better like in the following drafts that I've written for other books. So that's good. I'm getting better at writing. But also I know everyone feels this way, but like it's not great. Also, a lot of these are like very abrupt. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to think about it. I'm like, does that even make sense? But like some of these, first of all, the chapters are really short. But also, they're kind of like, this happened. I'm not putting enough like actual thought, like the characters thinking anything through into it. So I definitely need to fix that. So I have class in like 2 minutes. But last night I got through 9 chapters, the prologue in 9 chapters of going through it, but then my mom called and distracted me. I do have a lot more time tonight, and I plan on finishing the rest of the book. Mind you, the first 9 chapters were probably the shortest chapters. because most of the rest of the chapters get a lot longer. So yeah, it's gonna take a while tonight to get through the rest of the book, but I am enjoying reading it. There's a lot of fixes. I think I only had to take out one thing, and it was more of a mention rather than like I don't have to take out an entire scene. It's just like a mention that I have to remove. But there's a lot of adding, which I was expecting because I knew I underwrote this. But I am excited. That's my alarm to start getting to class. But yeah, I already duplicated a copy of the manuscript on my laptop so I can get ready to start rewriting it. And yeah, I'm honestly not nervous, which is, I don't know, I feel like it should feel more daunting, but I feel like the way I'm going at it right now doesn't feel very daunting. Like writing out what each chapter needs and then going through it like that. And I'm writing out all the threads. So it's just making it, and then like writing out the plot too. The plot right now only has 2 little things on it because I'm barely through it. But I think writing it all out and really putting it like in front of me is making it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to do the same thing I do with relationships, and I'm going to put it all into the document first and then put which chapters it has to make sure that I continue it and I don't drop the ball on any of them. But yeah. Hello, it is March the 4th. It's about to be 5:30. I'm currently listening to the Bridgerton soundtrack because the piano music is just beautiful. While I edit, I don't remember when I started. I think it started like half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago, something like that. But I'm doing chapters 10 to 28. And these are longer chapters. Essentially, the manuscript is just over 57,000 words. And the first 9 chapters and the prologue together were about 14,000. So you see how majority of that is still left. And I do want to have it all done today so that tomorrow I can do start full edits. And I'm so excited. But yeah, it's not daunting to me, and I think that's so odd because I was so nervous a couple months ago. I was like, I don't want to get into edits. I mean, it's still, I still look forward to it less than actual writing, but it's not daunting. I think part of that is because I'm doing these notes per chapter. I'm writing out the threads. Currently I have 12 written out, and they're not all huge threads. A lot of them are smaller things I just have to remember to continue on throughout, because I know for sure, at least for one of them, I know that I used in this book, but I dropped in books 2 and 3 completely. So I gotta remember to continue. It's more like a joking matter, but I want to remember to continue it. But yeah, I'm honestly so excited, and I am enjoying reading this book. But let me tell you, the amount of mistakes I found in here, I'm like, oh wow, Nelly, can you not type? What is this? Part of me is just reading over it and pretending I wrote it right, but I'm finding so many mistakes in here. Even just the way it's written, I feel like grammatically, I feel like I do better now than I did, 4 months ago during NaNoWriMo when I wrote this. So we're already improving. But yeah, that is pretty much gonna be my only task for the rest of the day, just to finish this, and I am excited. Quick little thing about the writing in here, I have a lot of chunks of paragraphs where they should be broken up. The paragraph shouldn't be that long. It should be maybe the two of the sentences should be part of the paragraph, but then the next sentence should be a new line and then new line. I don't know why I didn't write this correctly. It's just too chunky. So I'm nowhere near done. This manuscript is about 260 pages. I'm 144 in. So nowhere near done. But this is actually helping me a lot because not only am I doing these, but I'm getting post-its everywhere on different things. And then I just got, I wrote it on post, I don't know where it is, but I just got a thing on something from this book that I already had written that'll connect to book 4 perfectly. And I was like, oh, because I don't have like a concrete idea of what's happening in book 4, but I have an idea of what's happening in book 4. And when I read that, I was like, that fits perfectly. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm really enjoying this. It's gonna be a lot of adding. I was thinking earlier, I was like, so currently my word count is at like 57,400-ish. When I emailed my editor, I was like, it's currently at like 58,000. You know, I just rounded up. I was like, I don't know how much it's gonna be at when I send it to you. She was like, it's okay, just like estimate, and then we'll go off that. If it's not that, we'll just, you know, change how much I owe her later. So I was like, oh, okay, so like maybe 73,000, because I figured like 15,000, but now I'm like, absolutely it's gonna be more than 15,000. Absolutely. Earlier I was like, maybe, you know, maybe it'll be close to 15,000. No, I absolutely believe it's gonna be more than 15,000. I don't know how much it's gonna be, but yeah. Okay, it's like 9:30 and I need to stop making these updates on just reading the book because I still need to go through edits. But we are not at the climax, but we're coming to the climax, and it's getting like, it's just building up, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to keep reading, but like I'm tired. But also, I mean, at this rate, I don't think I'm gonna finish this today. We're on page 174 of 260. So there's still almost 100 pages. I literally can't. I'm so tired. Obviously it's taking longer than, you know, a regular book would because I'm taking notes and all that stuff. But yeah, honestly, it's I'm excited to get into edits. I'm nervous for it, but honestly, I'm excited, which is why I want to finish this part today, because like I'm so excited to get into it tomorrow that I want to get into it. I don't want to have to continue to read through, but honestly I'm probably gonna have to continue to read through. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just so tired. Hello, we are sitting at my bed. We have the desk and my laptop out, and we started the editing process. I finally finished all my pages. We have the threads here and all that stuff, and we started. So basically what I have is like the old chapter on one section and then the new chapter that I'm writing on another, so I can like follow it still, but like because I'm an underwriter, there's gonna be a lot to add. Plus I could change the way it's written so it's not huge chunks of paragraphs, which I don't know why I did that with this first book. But I just finished the prologue, and honestly it went so well. But when I tell you underwriter, mind you, I did add a little section, so other than that, it went from 657 words to 1,556. We added almost 1,000 words. But yeah, it's going pretty well so far, and honestly I really enjoyed reading the book because I had forgotten so much of it. And earlier, before I started doing this, I was thinking about book 2, like the beginning of book 2, and I was like, wait, how did, like, this one thing happens in one of the chapters in the beginning, and I was like, wait, how did that even happen? I don't remember. So I'm excited to later go in and read book 2 so I can find out what I wrote there. But yeah, it's going well so far. But also we're only a prologue in, so we're only one of 28 chapters in, because there's 27 chapters plus the prologue, so I just call it 28. But yeah, I'm gonna go through and reread what I just wrote to make sure the tenses aren't off or anything like that, because that's another problem that I found. I kept flipping back and forth the tenses. I would be like, most of it was past tense, but then I have a couple present tense and then go back to past tense and be like, wait, what is going on? So we're gonna go back and make sure that's not a problem. So we've started chapter 1. I got the first scene-ish, because it's technically the same scene, but I got the first section done, and we added like 160 words to it. We did change up the wording a little bit, which is why I'm glad I'm doing it on a separate document, because I'm still looking at it and like following where it's going. It's just some of it I'm adding a little bit. I might be taking a word or two out and all that stuff, but I was just curious, so I started looking through these to see when I have full scene add-ins rather than just adding into the scene I already have, because a lot of it is more like add this to the scene, add this description to the scene, add this one paragraph to the scene kind of thing. But a few times I remembered, like while I was going through the book, add a completely new scene into the chapter. And I was like, I wonder how many of those I have. I have 6 of those. So more of them are toward like the second half rather than the first half. But I have 6 full new scene write-ups. But like have a lot of add-ins in general. But yeah, those 6 full scene write-ups are probably gonna be a little bit harder just because I'm not gonna have something to go off of. So I'm gonna have to go through and edit that 2 or 3 times over to make sure that it like fits in with this second draft rather than like looking more like the first draft. So yeah, but it's going well so far. I kind of want to go to Trader Joe's, but I kind of want to finish chapter 1 first. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then go to Trader Joe's. That'll be my reward. Go to Trader Joe's after. Hello. So I haven't gotten any more editing done since I finished chapter 1 earlier today, and I went to Trader Joe's. But I bought some frozen mozzarella sticks at Trader Joe's, and I was like, well, I want to make some. My oven just finished preheating, so I was like, okay, I need my baking sheet. I went to grab it. You can see it's a little bit right there. The entire inside is gone. I had this was full. This is brand new. I bought this so I can refill that one when I was ready. All of that gone now. I just wasted half of it. It's just disgusting. Now I have to clean that. Oh my god. I had that shit all over my hands too. So now my sink is soapy because I have to wash my hands. But adulting is not fun sometimes. I forgot the mozzarella sticks. They always do this. They like the cheese kind of falls out. And I also forgot I don't have marinara sauce, so I have nothing to dip it in. So we're just gonna eat it like this, but kind of want some marinara sauce. Hello, it is the 6th of March and we are back over here editing this book. I did a bunch of other stuff earlier today. It's currently 2:30 and I started at 2 o'clock, but I just got into editing chapter 2, which again just means rewriting it and expanding, making it better essentially. But when I tell you, I haven't even finished the entire thing. There's 2 full scenes in the chapter and I only did 1 of them so far. The original chapter was 1,003 words. Just the rewrite of the first scene is 954. It's almost the entirety of the chapter, which that rewrite originally was, hold on, let's find out, 443. So over 500 words. And I honestly, I like this one so much better. It's like the scene itself is the same thing. It's just 1, the way it's written, and 2, like the detail around it and kind of like how it happens. It's more like the detail and you're just learning more. It's just so much better. Like I'm pretty sure I changed, like I didn't change the dialogue, but I'm pretty sure I changed everything else about that scene. So it's just so much better now. I enjoy it so much more. But yeah, I'm gonna go through and reread it right now to make sure I didn't mess up my tenses and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we're gonna do the next scene and then we'll have chapter 2 done. My goal is to have chapter 2, 3, and 4 done today because I think, okay, I don't remember actually. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, they're all like, chapter 4 is just over 1,500 words. Chapter 3 is just over 1,200 words, and then chapter 2 I just said is 1,000 words. But yeah, all 3 of them don't seem to have too much to like really do to them. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that might be a little too much. Like I might be expecting a little too much out of myself, but I feel like I could do it. And then because tomorrow, chapter 5, I have like the biggest chunk of stuff to do, so I figure I could just give that to tomorrow. And then maybe chapter 6 tomorrow, but I don't know. So the goal for this weekend is to have 6 chapters done, and that includes the prologue, so the prologue and 5 chapters. If I do more, even better. But yeah, that's the goal, because I don't know if I've said this year, my goal is kind of to finish this by like the 26th 27th of March, so that I still have a few days to reread the new manuscript, find any problems again, before I send it off to beta readers, because I'm trying to send it off to beta readers on like August 5th-ish, and then I'm assuming 2 to 3 weeks with them, and then by the end of, not August, I don't know why I said that, April 5th-ish, 2 to 3 weeks with them, and then by the end of April I figure I could start doing the second set of edits with their comments. So one thing I did, I'm still on the second scene for chapter 2. One thing I did when I was outlining this book is I kind of broke the scenes up to different character POVs, like not the chapters. So like one chapter could have 2 or 3 different character POVs, but like each scene would be a different character's POV. But in writing, I completely dropped the ball. And I was like, I wonder where it was that I dropped the ball in chapter 2. Because up until the first scene in chapter 2, it was actually going well. This second scene, nope, I dropped it. Because it starts off from one character's POV, and then the scene just flips to another character. And it's not like I have a line break. Because usually if I do that, like if it's the same scene, but I'm going to have a different character's POV, I'm going to have a line break to like switch it. But also, I don't think I would do that. So yeah, actually take that away. I don't think I would do that, because my line breaks are more for like, okay, at least time has passed or something has changed the scene, rather than keeping the same scene. Anyway, I did that. So basically part of this entire revision process is going to be going through each of the scenes and kind of deciding whose perspective it's going to be on, and then doing all of the other perspectives from that one perspective. So if it's like from, you know, the girl's perspective, and there's 3 other people around her, and we also had gotten 2 of their perspectives, basically I'll have to do it so like our original girl will kind of notice that from them, and she'll think it or she'll say it, but we won't actually get everyone's perspective, just because I feel like it's much cleaner that way. Because right now, like for all 3 of the books, I dropped the ball for all of the books. I feel like when I write book 4, I'm going to drop the ball there too, which is fine, because my first draft is really just getting the story down. My second draft is cleaning it up and making it sound, you know, who was that? I don't remember. Some author said like the point of your second draft is to make it look like you knew what you were doing in your first draft. So yeah, but we just came to where I dropped the ball. I'm pretty sure after this, every single scene is gonna have multiple people's POVs, and I'm gonna have to go through and decide whose it's actually gonna be. Hello, so I need to clean my kitchen and I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner, but I've been sitting this past hour and doing some more Publish and Thrive. I have not been doing that course in order. I'm literally just skipping around to whichever video. Eventually I'll watch all the videos, like I'll have them all watched at some point, but I just skip around to whichever one like tickles my fancy at the moment, and then obviously I'll rewatch it again later this year, like closer to whenever I actually need to publish and stuff like that, like when I actually need all the information. Definitely be rewatching it, but right now it's just fun to like get a inkling of what it's gonna be like. But yeah, I'm just doing that right now. I only ended up editing chapter 2 because that took me an hour and a half. But I did add over 950 words to it, so we did well. I do have it scheduled in for at least another hour later tonight. I didn't mention this earlier, but I also, hold on, let me put you down. I also wrote my creative writing assignment this morning. It's due tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so it's due tonight. I'm not gonna wake up at 8 a.m. just to submit it. So the way our assignments work is you have no prompts, which I was so happy about when he told us that at the beginning of the semester. He was like, I'm not gonna give you prompts, just whatever you're feeling, write. So, and we do it every 3 weeks. This was 4 weeks because like one of the weeks we didn't have class, but every 3 weeks you have an assignment due, just because there's 10 people in the class, so we break it up about 3 to 4 people write every week, and we can like actually go through and like talk about them. But anyway, what was it, like 2 weeks ago during class, I thought of what I wanted my next one to be, because my first one was an elevator story and it was so cute and I love that story. It is actually the first chapter to a book that I'm not gonna be writing that book. I might actually write it for NaNoWriMo this year. I don't have an outline, don't really have like the synopsis. I have like the beginning synopsis. I don't have the like actual plotline synopsis. I don't have an outline or anything like that, but I can worry about that in October. But I do think that's gonna be my NaNoWriMo project. But anyway, I love that piece. I think it's so cute, and the people in my class really loved it too. But I got this idea. It's like complete 180 from my elevator piece. And so today I started writing it, and I was gonna do another like short story type. Like basically you have up to 5 pages. You can write as much as you want. So I was gonna do that. But I started writing it. I wrote the first line and then I like clicked enter and I started writing the second line on the second thing. I was like, you know what? This is gonna work better as a poem. And if you know me, you know I hate poems just because I don't understand them. Like ever, I do not understand poems. I wish I did because I would love to be in the know about poems. But let me tell you, last week, two of the 3 people that did their assignment did poems. And I was sitting there like, bro, I don't know what you wrote. Especially one of them, I was like, I have absolutely no idea what you wrote about. Like, I could not. And I had to critique it. Like, I had to email her and I was like, I don't know. I could not tell you. But I literally said this in class. I was like, yeah, I don't know anything about poems. And then this week I'm going to come in with a poem. But it's a lot more like, it's easier to understand. Because I wrote it like I would know. Trust me, if I can understand it, anyone can understand it. But I like it. I'm gonna edit it in like an hour to make sure it's okay and then send it in. But it was cute. We are in the middle of chapter 3, but we got a whole bunch of apples and some peanut butter because this is the ultimate snack. But let's go. So we got 1,927 words into chapter 3. Originally started at 1,241, but around the end of my rewrite, I realized I forgot to put in a couple of descriptions for characters because I had forgotten to write it in these like notes. So I was writing it and I was like, wait, have I even described what this character looks like? And I was like, no, I haven't. So when I go through and reread it to make sure, you know, the tenses and everything, like everything is fine, I have to now add that as well. So it's definitely gonna go over 2,000 words. We have setup, we have the coffee, the laptop, the notes, the phone, the post-its, the blankie, the little heater, because it's not cold, but it's a little, like my feet are cold. The foam roller, so like I could have my back straight. And I've already done a homework assignment, so we have that off the plate. So I'm doing pretty well. I also started writing my article for the Fashion and Retail Club. It's not done, but we got a first draft. I just finished chapter 4. I had done exactly half chapter 4 last night, and I was tired, so I just stopped. But that took me almost an hour. That took so long. But yeah, I added a lot. It started off at like 15-20 something and it ended at like 28 something. So I added 1,300 words to that chapter. We have so far added approximately 4,360 words to the manuscript overall, and that's just the first 4 chapters in the prologue, so like the first 5 chapters. that's about a third of the 15,000 I told Katie it was gonna be. And this is before going to betas too. So first we're doing these edits. Once I get through all 28 sections, I'm gonna be sending it off to betas. And then once I get their notes, which who knows how many notes, how much they're gonna have to say, I'm gonna do a whole other edit. So I don't know if I'll have to take out or put in. I feel like I won't have to take out. So it's definitely gonna be in the 80. That might be overdoing it. But I feel like it's definitely gonna be in the 80,000s. So that's just gonna mean my cost is gonna be a lot higher than I was expecting it to be in July. So there's that to look forward to. But yeah, my butt kind of hurts from sitting down here. And that foam roller, it's like nice when I'm like sitting up, but like it starts to hurt because it's only hitting the middle of my back. And I'm too lazy to go and grab my pillow. And please ignore the laundry because it's just been sitting there because I hate putting away laundry. So I need to put it away. Maybe I'll convince myself to do it later. But yeah, we just did an hour of editing. I'm gonna start chapter 5 right now. I don't know how far I'll get into it. I don't even know how many scenes it is. Let's find out. Oh, and chapter 5, I didn't realize I did this when I finished the manuscript because I forgot. But I bracketed one of the sections and I just started complaining because there's like a scene where, like within the scene, a couple of the characters are gonna be complaining and I didn't feel like doing it when I wrote it like originally. And I forgot to add it in. So now I have to go in. It's not like a full scene add in, but it's like a part of the scene add in. But now I have to think about that. That's not gonna be fun. But oh, it looks like it's just the one scene. I can break it up into two technically, so I can have two different perspectives, but at the very least it's just gonna be one perspective. So I also have to figure out whose perspective this is gonna be from. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. I also probably should start a little document on whose perspectives are being heard from in each chapter, so I don't have like one person who was heard from in chapter 2 and then not heard from again until like chapter 12. Unless like, that's a lie. I don't have one of the 3 main characters do that. There are some parts where like you hear from someone's perspective just once or like 2 or 3 times throughout the entire book, but not that often. So in terms of the 3 main characters, I want to like evenly space out their thoughts, you know? But it's going well. It's taking forever. Plus I have midterms, not this week, but the week after. So like this week I'm gonna be studying for it. I always say that and I never do it, but I actually have to because I'm not looking forward to these midterms. I also got a midterm grade back from last week and I didn't do that great, which is so sad because it was open book. But I think because it was open book, I didn't do great because I didn't study for it. I was like, I mean, I like looked into it a little bit, but I didn't really study for it. So that was on me. Let me tell you, senioritis has hit like a bitch. Okay? I don't really care about school. All I want to do is like write and get into work and stuff like that. Like, I don't care. But we only have 2 more months of school left, so I need to continue. And then it's gonna be the really weird section in fall when I don't go back to school, and I'm gonna be like, what is? Anyway, that's not what this vlog is for. This is an editing vlog, and we're about to start chapter 5. I did not start chapter 5. Instead, what I did is I went into my timeline and I started writing down what day each timeline correlates to, because I had done that in the 3rd book, but I hadn't done it for books 1 and 2. So basically what I did is, because I had it already done in book 3, and in book 3 I do mention like some of the days, so I need those to stay the same. I went into book 3 and I started it and I just went backwards with the dates, and then I just basically put in like, this day is a Saturday, this day is a Monday kind of thing, because one, that'll just help me know my timeline better, but also it'll help like when I'm writing, I'm like, okay, we're in the middle of a Thursday, you know? But that just took like 15 minutes of my time. And I think I'm gonna go do something else and then we'll start editing chapter 5. I just made a little bit of food. It's literally like 3 o'clock and I haven't eaten. And I just realized that, and I started my Google certificate. I have not written chapter 5, but I'm gonna do that a little bit later. My camera's about to die. But yeah, I'm gonna join a sprint later and do that. So we're just gonna end it here. And yeah, I'd just like to thank anybody, if anybody watched this, for watching. And I'll see you guys